Hey, what's up? How's everybody's day? Hope everybody's day is good. There's been a lot of talk again about the Second Amendment because of that school shooting. And the biggest question I have with I think it's important for people to talk about gun violence, right? I don't have a problem when somebody says, oh, we need to talk about gun violence. Fuck, if we have gun violence and people don't like it, it needs to be talked about. I don't like it. I would like to talk to somebody about gun violence that's willing to be open and listen to stuff. But aside from that, the take, just the shit that people say, it trips me out that everybody, regardless of party line or preferences or whatever the fuck kind of person you are or think you are, because we are what we are. We are what we are. That's it. We can think whatever we want to think. It doesn't mean it's true. But that's a whole different thing that kind of sparked me up today, because bringing stupid ass shit into a workplace. Anyways, not even a workplace, just an environment where it needs to be as healthy as possible 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Because has to be as just chill as possible, because when shit cracks, it's not just normal somebody yelling. It's like shit cracks in the worst ways. But anyways, the way people talk about gun ownership, or just, let's just say guns. Let's say if I had the choice to just eliminate every single gun in the entire world, would I do it? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. And the only reason is not because of me or my capabilities, it's because of other people. But then that even kind of toes the line, because some people, I'm not the type that I'm not gonna fucking lie for 1 second and say I think everybody should own a gun, because everybody thinks that it's kind of, I don't know. I guess that'd be a real quick way to wash out all the bad people and lose a lot of good people in the process. But Second Amendment's Second Amendment. So I really don't have an argument. However I feel or what I think doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? But if there wasn't a Second Amendment and there was guns and the choice for them not to exist, it would still be kind of hard. I would prefer there not to be gun violence 100%. It's a sticky situation. Even without the Second Amendment, there's still, you could see a need for somebody to be able to equal a playing field. But we have evil in the world, period. Mental illness, all that shit. We had all that shit back in the day. Had all that stuff. But we also had guns, and we had less gun laws. And we didn't have these mass shootings. So the argument is fucking, it just makes no fucking sense, dude, that people can't fucking see reality, which is why I wanted to make this video. It's not necessarily about the right to own guns, but they're here. There's a Second Amendment. That's it. Now, let's just say I was an anti-gun person. Let's just say that 7 years ago, I hated guns. I was fucking completely anti-gun because 15 of my fucking friends, and not distant friends, really good friends, fucking died from bullet going through their fucking head when we were kids, I would be the type of person that hated guns, right? But the gun wasn't even a thought. I just was like, fuck, that's fucked up. A few more accidents, the rest were on purpose. Bing, bing, bing. Somebody shot him. But let's just go to 7 years ago, and I'm an anti-gunner, right? Then the leadership of this country starts talking all this fucking white supremacy shit, all this crazy ass madness shit that they're pushing in every single fucking direction, right? I'm gonna be like, fuck, if I'm not thinking logically enough to be able to understand the need for somebody to have protection an equal amount to somebody else, right? If I can't understand just that alone, there's an issue. But then when you hold up, when you put on top of that, you start telling me, for one, you're for unity and for everybody and bringing people together, you're gonna fucking, every certain class of people is evil but they're good. My fucking bells are gonna start going off like, what the fuck? They're like tripping. They're saying this here, then this here. But they're putting out there that all these groups are bad and evil and they're trying to kill people and this and that. I'm gonna slowly start, my anti-gun thought process is gonna start dissipating. I'm gonna start thinking more and more about, well, if we got these motherfuckers out here, and I already know these men and women can't make it here at the moment that these boogeymen are gonna come and get me, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to fucking either curl up and hide under a rock, or I'm gonna have to find a way to protect myself. And there's guns. I could go get a gun. You get that? If I'm being told by the leadership of this country that every group of person around me is bad or not good, or there's all these horrible things going on, like right now, the past couple weeks, they just started, because elections are coming up, showing fucking shootings everywhere and calling everything a fucking mass shooting. Fuck yeah, dude, I'm gonna start fucking arming up, because I ain't gonna be under a fucking rock. And even if I was, what? We had 13 home invasion robberies in a night? Do you get where I'm going? It's like, to me, if anybody in the world is pushing pro 2A agenda, it would be what people like to call Gungrabbers. I don't see them as Gungrabbers. I see them as the best and most influential people in gun ownership. They're the ones that are creating record amounts of gun sales in this country over the past few years. You know what I mean? If you're trying to completely fucking frighten the whole fucking populace of people, then you have, or let's say you're just trying to frighten anybody that'll get frightened by what you gotta say, there's a counterbalance to that. On the other side, you're gonna piss these other people off. And you're not dumb, you know what you're doing. Like, you have to be pushing for gun sales. You have to be. There has to be a reason. I almost fucking wonder if these supposed gun grabbers know something we don't know, and we're about to be fucking invaded by aliens and sharks and fucking giraffes and all these like fucking vampire giraffes or whatever the fuck, son. And they want people to buy guns because every fucking thing they say tells people to go get guns, right? You'll have the group of people that are like, oh fuck, it's the gun's fault, but fuck, there's a record numbers of females buying guns, record numbers of any class that wasn't, or any category or whatever you want to call them, You make your own fucking pie graph. I don't want to categorize people other than them being just people like me. You know? I would say the gun grabbing agenda is like reverse psychology. I think they want everybody to fucking own firearms and fucking rocket launchers and fucking all this wild ass shit. Fucking crossbows and fucking flamethrowers and shit, because they're either scaring people or pissing people off. And yeah, you got those people that don't give a fuck, but every day there's hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers that used to not give a fuck. They're just living their lives saying, fuck this, I don't give a fuck about that. Shut the fuck up, I don't care about none of that they care now. And that's every day people are moving to the other side of something from where they were, and I could guarantee you it ain't people leaving from gun ownership going to we don't want to own guns. That's crazy. You'll have some showboater up there, some liar up there saying, oh, I used to be a gun owner and I'm not anymore. Like that teacher a long time ago when the shit first started hitting, he got out and made a video about destroying a weapon. If he fucking knew anything about guns, he would have known exactly what he did was a federal offense by shortening that barrel of that rifle. And he did that shit live. I wonder if he ever got charged for that shit. I did. Day after I turned 18 years old, banged out. I got fucking scooped up, facing 17 federal counts. And the federal court system threw it out, and it went to state. I was facing like 36 years in prison. Day after I turned 18. For shit I didn't even know was fucking wrong. I would spend time on a ranch, and I lived in a neighborhood where, like I said before, we'd have to roll strap just to get money out of the ATM. Like strap, two people strapped, kept a distance from each other, watching each other. Nobody was gonna get us. You could have 10 fools running up, but we didn't look like we were together, and we would have got them, because we trained. But yeah. That's just a thought I had. The disconnect is just fucking weird to me. The disconnect that the leadership or people that want to talk on guns or talk about guns or talk about even life, just life in general, the disconnect is astonishing, and it surprises me that you'll find people that actually side with fucking lunatics when you see right in front of you. Like, there's no way you can miss it. It's on every single channel. You don't even have to be told that, hey, did you just hear what they said? You don't even have to tell somebody that. It's like, it should be obvious to anybody. Like, a kid will look up and be like, what? That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So it's just weird to me that there's still people on the fence about anything. There's still people talking about stuff. Like today there's a video of this Marine. He was all happy. I hate picking on, this will actually be the first time I picked on a Marine, but this dude came out, he's all sitting there thinking after the shooting. It was on CNN. How could we do this? And he started talking about gun control and how they could, what could fix it. Like, but he was specifically on controlling civilians with guns. And his great idea was, he compared directives and shit in the Marine Corps and base living to the civilian life as to how they should manage gun control for civilians. Like if there's Marines on base having to check their firearms and this and that, how come a civilian? And he's like whining about the rights. Marines have the same rights we do outside. They can roll around with their heat. But base, I don't know how many people have been on base, but that's a very, very controlled environment for the most part. I know there's a lot of chaos, controlled chaos, but it's from entering a base during the time you're on base and your entire time within that base. It's a very controlled environment. And society is very uncontrolled environment because we live free, and there's fucking lunatics, and there's fucking evil people, and there's good people, there's bad people, there's two-faced people, there's every type of people that exists is here in the civilian life, including some Marines and some military members, some law enforcement. Motherfuckers are weird sometimes. It's impossible to compare base living with living out here, off base. We'll just say off base. You can't compare the two. Fucking dipshit. Oh, it pained me. I was like, fuck it. Like, almost broke my heart to see a Marine talk such stupid shit. Not saying that there hasn't been Marines talking stupid shit, but this one just was like, what the fuck? How are you gonna compare base housing to fucking out here in society? That shit is fucking weird, bro. So I don't know where they picked that fucking fool up from, but he had to. I hope he got paid to say some stupid shit like that, because that was fucking dumb. But I shouldn't really have to go too much into that, because it's, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to your local military installment in your area and roll through that base. Just show up, go visit somebody, just be like, hey, I don't know who I want to visit, I just want to drive around base. See how that works out. See how that works out for you, and see if base living is the same as living out here. I was just at work one day. I mean, we were working on a retail space in a city in LA, and I won't say the whole story. Definitely ain't gonna say where or who it was, but there's an organization that exists that's known around the world that ended up, there was a little gunplay situation with these fools, and it was one with the AK-47 to cover these three that fucked up by stacking up, so I was able to get the drop on them. Fucking face, son. We didn't shoot because I was able to spit some game real quick and got out of a fucked up situation, but I had the drop on these three fools that had, each of them had a pistol, and I'm guessing what they were gonna come and do is do like a quick hit real quick, and then as they were going back to the vehicle that they had parked facing the exit of the parking lot, I could have got that dude with the AK through the windshield behind cover, son. Da, 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 da. I would have beat that one, but I would have got lucky. That's the civilian life for some people. I know some people can't wrap their head around that, but that was just something normal. It was like whatever, you know? Shit happens all the fucking time where that wasn't even a shot fired, but it saved my life. My mouth saved my life too. Growing up in that area saved my life more than anything, because I didn't panic. That's civilian life. You're not gonna have a motherfucker on base rolling in a truck with fucking 3 hitters and 2 lanes about a fucking 86, some fools. That shit ain't gonna happen right here where I'm at right now. Like, there's shit could crack, you know what I mean? But it's life. Just got off work. It's like 8:40 right now, and I gotta go to the store. And I got my dome light on, my windows down. Ooh, I'm a sitting duck, son. But yeah, this ain't fucking base housing full. And my main point from this was that I believe that supposed gun grabbers are actually fucking commercials, constant commercials for gun ownership. They want people to own weapons for whatever reason, because they're the reason why gun sales were up. It's not because of Republicans or NRA or fucking Republicans or fucking any. And by the way, fucking gun ownership is not a partisan issue. It's across the board. Every type of person owns guns. Not everybody owns them, but every type of person does. So that's weird too, that they keep tying it to Republicans or conservatives or whatever. All kinds of motherfuckers own guns, but I don't know what else to say on this one, but that was my main point, is I think Democrats are the biggest influencers in the gun world, because they're the ones that create the largest amount of purchases when it comes to ammo and guns, and the type of guns too. So have a good day, be safe, don't always count on a gun, and if you have guns and you own guns, don't be a fucking pussy and just shoot anybody for any fucking reason. You gotta fucking train with that shit, and you don't always have to shoot people. You know what I mean? That's not what, I don't know. Yeah, don't just shoot because you're scared. If you shoot because you're scared, then something's wrong with you. I'm talking about civilian life. All right, have a good night, do something positive, be positive, talk to people. You don't have to talk about specifics, but make sure fucking people are straight and they're self-thinking, regardless of what your beliefs are. I don't care what they are. Just make sure people think for themselves. Have a good night. Peace.